Keep listening for that Tay-Tay double play. 2 Taylor Swift songs in a row. When you hear them, you want to be caller 20, and you can win tickets to see her show at Allegiant Stadium next year, part of the Eras tour. We're gonna be her second stop on the tour, and we are so excited about that. So make sure you are listening. So yesterday, my day went from happy to, I don't want to say tragic, but completely upside down in a matter of 10 seconds. It was, have you ever had something that was just a small problem, easily remedied, and then it turned into a gigantic problem? It all happened when I got home yesterday. I walked in the door and I see my husband is rushing from one room to another, and I make eye contact. I go, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Everything."
Oh,
And I was like, because I was surprised. Like he didn't call me. So if everything's going wrong, I would have got a call or a text. He goes, "I'll tell you in a second." So he rushed off into another room. I heard him going upstairs. There's a plumbing truck in front of my house. Now, I knew that plumber was going to be there because my husband the day before said, "Hey, can you call our home warranty company? My sink in our bathroom it has a small leak, so they could come fix it." And I was like, "Yeah." So when you call, if you have a home warranty, you put a ticket in, and then they dispatch a company, their company. So that I see this plumber, I'm like, "Oh, he's probably fixing the sink upstairs." So I didn't really think anything of it. So he comes down, he goes, "So we have a problem." And I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm scared." What happened? So apparently the plumber was fixing said leak up in his room. Should be an easy fix, right? It was going in there, and I don't know all the terminology. I'm not a plumber, but he's made a comment about the angle stops in the pipe. Okay. So that's where like it opens and closes for the water to go through.
mhm.
Something was up with the angle stops. So he had to go and change those. And when he turned the water off, and that was fine. And so, long story short, there was a part he needed from Lowe's or that he had to order, and he couldn't get it. So he said, I'm going to go, but I don't want you to not have any water. So I'll turn it back on for you guys. Let me just fix these angle stops." So he does that, turns the water back on, didn't seal the angle stops. So all of a sudden, my husband's the water in my husband's sink on the second floor, it starts raining on the first floor of our home.
Wait, the water leak is so intense that it's coming from the second.
No,
We're just
it's not the leak. The angle stops that attached to the sink.
yeah.
It just exploded. What should have been a tiny thing on the sink turned into an actual plumbing issue because he didn't seal it before he turned the water back on.
But we were just talking about water damage on the show.
Yeah.
About how that already within turning it on goes from the second floor, starts dripping down through the first floor.
It was raining outside. So my husband's like, he sees like rain, and he's like, "Why does that look like it's coming from inside the house?" And he goes, and there's water everywhere.
Oh, so he turns it on. No one's upstairs to realize that the leak is happening? Like the spray is coming out?
Well, yes, he was upstairs, but he didn't realize it was going down.
Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was. They turned it on.
Husband is down, and he sees it, so he starts grabbing towels, and like, it's just everywhere.
That's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
It really is, because that's how black mold starts. That's why my fear of a water leak, because you have to get in there now into the drywall and every single area where that water went and make sure you've got a fan or something to dry that fast.
So what turned out as a sink leaking is now a situation where they had to call a restoration company to come in and tell us what it was going to cost to fix.
Oh my gosh. Are they having to cut holes in walls and everything else like that?
They will. Yep.
Oh no.
It was awful.
This can get really bad. Are they concerned about black mold or something happening?
Yes. They're gonna fix it. We have fans running and stuff like that. But
can you guys stay in the house or do you have to leave?
Well, the black mold didn't just like.
Well, I know, but I mean, there could be a situation going on with restoration, cutting holes in walls and everything.
Well,
like that.
their goal is to come in on Friday and take care of everything. obviously not on our dime, but yeah. So
Oh my gosh.
I sat on the couch. I was in disbelief, and the plumber comes downstairs to do something, and he won't even make eye contact
No.
with me. He will not. And I was just like, I didn't know what. I was so angry, but at the same time, I didn't think he did it on purpose, and I gotta imagine he felt pretty bad. My husband's on the phone with the company, and they're trying to rectify the situation. They're like, we're going to send out a restoration company. They were there like within an hour or two, and they went in and said, yeah, it's probably about a couple grand worth of damage that we're going to have to fix. And it's just like, last night we're sitting there, we're like, how did a leaky faucet turn into us having to restore our bathroom?
Yeah, and into the house too. Where was the faucet leaking?
I think just on the handle. So not like my husband's like, why did I even care? It was just awful. I don't even know what to say. Like, I want to cry. I like
I'm so
literally want to
sorry.
cry.
That's not a fun situation. And water, we literally were just talking about water damage on the show
I know.
about being a big fear because of all the problems that come after it.
It's just a mess. So yeah, we want to cry. Don't know, what's gonna happen, but yeah, that was my day yesterday. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
We gotta hit break. We want to grab Scott real fast because maybe he's supposed to change your mindset.
Oh, hi Scott. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm terrible. But what's going on?
I just want to put your mind at ease a little bit. Mold doesn't come from one-time water leak. I mean, building materials are made to get wet. It comes from multiple times of getting wet from water sitting for prolonged periods of time. So getting wet, letting it dry out, you're not going to have any mold issues.
That actually makes me feel a lot better. Thank you, Scott, for that. Like that does put me more at ease. It's just like, it's just so frustrating. How did one little thing that should have really happened within like an hour? Let's fix this really quick. And no,
What happened?
Scott, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was just a mess.
Yeah, put yourself in that situation. It stinks. I'm sorry you guys are going through that. One little fix turns into a restoration company coming out there. Hey, let's all redo all this stuff now.
I know. I mean, I did want to get my bathroom remodeled, but it sounds like only just this one side of our bathroom's going to get remodeled.
Hey, don't forget those tickets to go see Katy Perry. You're going to go see Katy Perry. Those tickets are actually next hour at 8:25. It sucks.
Yeah, it was a bad day yesterday.
Was his faucet leaking like when he turned it on, like kind of like the base of the faucet, water gathering around there?
He sent me a picture to explain better. Where the arrows are was where there was just like little leaks.
Yeah.
That was it. And now it's like the entire wall has to come down.
I had that in one of our bathroom faucets upstairs. It's the two sinks, and I called a plumber out, and he's like, "You should just replace the actual faucet. It's the easiest solution." And I didn't feel like doing that, so I just turned the water off. We don't use the sink.
Oh my god!
But yeah, but
that's the way to do it, I guess.
But it's, I mean, something that should be as simple as fixing that turns into a disaster for you guys.
Yeah. Now I'm just like, why? Should have just let it leak.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's what a nightmare.
I know.
How crazy. JC was just talking about it yesterday that's his worst nightmare.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's good to know. I always felt like if there's because we had a leak in our old house, the toilet leaked and it dripped down from the second floor, worked its way down. And we noticed because in the kitchen, there was a little wet spot that kept getting wider and wider and wider. That's how I noticed it. It turned out it was the toilet upstairs that had a leak and the water just made its way down. And the guy that fixed it was like, put this fear of black mold in my mind.
Yeah, that's scary.
But it's nice to know if it's something like yours that, it sucks to get it fixed, but at least there won't be really an issue with mold.
Yeah, we've had fans running all night.
Yeah.
They're probably going to have to take down that part of the wall, and then the ceiling on the second floor, they're going to have to probably replace that area. But
And when do they start?
we don't know. They're going to come back today. well, the guy's supposed to actually fix the faucet, and then the
same guy?
renovation team. Yeah.
Can you
first
send us
problem-
out someone else?
Well, and we asked that, and they said, sorry, the person that opens the ticket has to finish it. We're like, well, considering what happened, probably not the greatest idea.
Yeah.
Now you see, this is my fear of buying a home. This is
Get a home.
No.
I would say get a home warranty, but then I'm like, well, I called the home warranty to get that plumber, and that's the one they sent. So
Guaranteed to
so
mess it
well.
up. I'll be back.
Man. Are those the same people that help with maintenance around the house too, or what's that like?
a home warranty.
Yeah.
Like if something breaks, you have to pay like a flat fee, like $50 to get it fixed. So it's been nice. It's helped us in a lot of ways because let's say our dishwasher, something's wrong with it. Someone comes in and it costs us $50, and then no matter how much it costs to fix it, they just do it, and it's only $50 out of our pocket. So that's nice. And then you can have it for anything. You can have it for your pool, your kitchen appliances, your plumbing, your electrical, like all that. And so it's nice to just kind of cover everything. But
Air
yeah,
conditioning?
but they decide. Yeah, air conditioning. They decide who comes out. You don't pick who comes out.
Gotcha. So it's like a company, and then they have their like other little companies.
They're
underneath
preferred
them.
contractors. Yeah. But
Contractors,
we've
yeah.
never had a problem until now. Like everyone they've sent us has always been fine,
There's always that one.
I know. But part of me actually felt really bad for him because I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. I mean, not that I don't know if he was negligent or not, but I can't imagine he felt great about that whole situation. So I did actually feel kind of bad for him too.
Yeah, it's like you want to be mad, but you can't. It's hard to be mad because of the fact that it was a mess up. Like these things are going to happen, and that little mess up turned into a huge mess up.
Huge.
I bet you he'll never do that again.
I don't even know if like I don't know. We're still trying to figure out how you even let that happen. But
Right.
I don't know.
GC, what was your bus driver's name? Mr. Kermit?
Mr. Kermit. Yep. Bus 58.
Does he spell it like like the Kermit the Frog?
Yeah. That was I don't know what his real name was, but that was his nickname. That's what he went by.
That's cute.
He was a savage. If we got out of line, he'd pull over, screaming at everyone.
No way.
Yeah. Let's see if he's trying to find him.
I hated riding the bus. Those chairs were so uncomfortable.
Ours are just like a bench, it's a bench, no seatbelts. We'd sit 2, sometimes 3, and I always sat because I was one of the first ones picked up based on the route. And my buddy Fran DeAngelis would get on, come sit with me. I'd always do my homework on the school bus too.
Really? You could do your homework on the bus? I would not be able to.
Because I didn't do it at home. I come home, play video games, and ride my 3-wheeler. So I'd have to get the stuff done. So I'd be scrambling on the bus to get it done.
On the way to school?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Copying from a friend?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sit there and place blame, but I mean, seriously, I was in 5th grade. Like my parents and teachers didn't pick up on that and didn't take action on that.
Oh, man.
I mean, seriously, the teacher's going to pick up on that. They can tell you did it on a bus, but no one did anything.
You could tell I did it on a bus because there'd be like times where it's like,
Yeah, whoop. It really was like, I don't know.
homework.
Can't blame the teachers, but same time, I want to.
And like, how can you grade a lot of the work sometimes? Like English classes,
Uh-huh.
I get sometimes, and math because I get it. But like, if you're like a 2nd grade teacher or like a 3rd grade teacher and you're grading art, and like, what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal? Oh, he
I
spelled dog wrong.
It was 2nd grade. I had a hard time telling time on a clock. And so my parents had to make this big like clock out of construction paper and stuff and poster board. And so I could be able to tell like how to tell time. So the teachers must have said, hey, your son can't even tell time.
Your son sucks.
Mr. and Mrs. Fernandez, JC can't tell time and he's 13 years old.
Bright student, but can't tell time.
Welcome to Catholic school.
Oh man, going to private school was funny. I went to one too.
But if you look back, like I remember that day, like my dad had this big clock made out of construction board, and I was able to tell. And the next day, it was like that was like the thing in school in class, and the teacher kept asking me to tell the time, and I kept getting it. So I felt like they
You were
knew that my
working?
dad. They knew they were teaching me.
You'll get there, just slow learner.
I couldn't tell time.
Oh damn. And then in radio we have to work with time it's so annoying. Thank God for time calculators.
When also too the new policy of just starting the show and not worrying about where the song is at 5 a.m. Do you do that
Wait, say that again?
at 5 a.m.? Oh, thank you.
With the songs? Oh, the $5?
At my
The
$5.
$5.
At 5 a.m. just starting the top of the hour, no matter where the song is. Do you do that?
Yeah, if people are listening like around in the 4:55 time and a song just cuts out, it's because I have to jump in and our show starts at 5 because our show starts right at 5:30. Sometimes I'll only let 10 seconds of a song play, and then I'm like dump.
It's much easier. So I started doing it after you left during the pandemic. I would just kill the song halfway through to start our show.
Oh my gosh, it's such a game changer because Jocelyn and we would be literally at 4:30 like, okay, what song do we have to move to make sure that we hit at this time?
It's a process.
It's a lot.
Check this out. So Drake and 21 Savage's new album, Her Loss, is going to be their loss in court. And that's if Vogue gets their way. So the magazine, Vogue, is suing the two over fake covers that they use to hype their record. So Drake and 21 are promoting Her Loss by posing on what certainly looks like a legit cover of Vogue, leading fans to believe that the company is going to drop this special edition soon. And some media outlets are actually reporting on the issue that it's coming out with Drake and 21 Savage on the cover. Well, Drake says he got editor-in-chief Anna Wintour's blessing, but Condé Nast, who owns Vogue says that didn't happen and have asked multiple times for all promos using the Vogue name to be taken down, but nothing's been done yet. And then TMZ says that Drake and his team, they're surprised and confused by the lawsuit because some other organizations, they did that fake Howard Stern interview. They did a fake Tiny Desk series. They were kind of having fun with it and didn't have an issue with it, but they're surprised Vogue has an issue with their fake cover they made.
When I was probably like 11 or 12, there was a place that did like fake covers. Did you ever?
Yes.
Do you remember those? Like you would be on the cover of a magazine, and I did one of those. Me and my sister. We must have been at some ski resort because it was the cover of Ski Magazine, and I remember I was wearing like you got to choose your clothes, and so they had like a sweater that you could like put on and tied in the back, and then a hat, and we dressed up like we were ski pros, and we were like, hey, we had a fake cover. I know my mom still has that somewhere.
Please find that. And did you have this? I remember we were senior week down at the shore. You could go into a place and you can dress up like old timey gangsters and have your photo taken. Me and my buddies did that. We're like 18. We all dressed up like gangsters. And I think one of us is holding a Jack Daniels bottle. I've got like a old school machine gun. Like we're mobsters.
I think they had that at Casa Bonita in Denver. And Casa Bonita was like the iconic Mexican restaurant that had like cliff divers and puppet shows and piñata breaking. And I think they had those old timey photos that you could go with your friends and wear all those weird old clothes. And yeah, I remember that.
I gotta find because I think I have like the gangster top on, but you can see my swim trunks underneath or something like that. It's so funny.
Yeah, you're like holding your iPhone.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Oh, but what do you think of that too? By the way, the whole Drake thing, because we fell for the Howard Stern interview.
Oh, I totally thought that was real. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, I mean, you got to get their permission.
Yeah.
You got to get their permission.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are very close to Taylor Swift. So close, their kids think of her as an aunt. But check this out. It never really landed with the kids that Aunt Taylor was a world-famous pop star until they saw her on stage in concert. Here is Ryan Reynolds explaining. She's the real deal.
Yeah, she's pretty big.
And then Ryan denies the rumors that Taylor is making an appearance in Deadpool 3, but says she's welcome to be in the film, but he says nothing is happening as of now. And don't forget, between now and 10 a.m., that Tay-Tay double play, when you hear two songs, Taylor Swift back-to-back, be caller 20 when that second song starts, and you'll get tickets to go see her show in March. So it's time to play. Let's play this game called Who's Sexier? So Chris Evans was voted People Magazine's sexiest man alive for 2022. Well, BuzzFeed has an ongoing poll to see how he compares to other famous men. So in your opinion, who is sexier? Harry Styles or Chris Evans?
That is tough. I'm going to stay with Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Steph, what do you say on that?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans has the poll as well, 79% to 21%. How about Freddie Prinze Jr. in the early 2000s to current day Chris Evans?
Chris Evans. Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I mean,
he's cute,
but
2000s. Well, yeah, but I think Chris Evans.
Freddie Prinze Jr. for me.
Ooh.
I liked him in those old school movies.
Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, Evans is winning all these things, by the way. Keanu Reeves in the mid-90s, so think Speed and everything else, or Chris Evans?
Still Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Gosh. Okay, how about adult Simba in The Lion King or Chris Evans?
Wait, what?
Adult Simba in The Lion King.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Hold on, I need a picture of this.
Adult Simba in The Lion King, or this is on BuzzFeed, or Chris Evans. Who's sexier?
I mean, are we looking at the same thing? The cartoon?
I go Chris Evans on that.
Yeah, same.
Surprisingly, the Lion King adult Simba got 12% of the vote, but Chris Evans
Did
didn't
they
win.
also ask lions in this survey?
No, just humans. Last
Simba.
one, Chris Evans in the early 2000s or Chris Evans today.
Oh, today for sure.
Today.
For sure.
Yeah, so people say 85% vote for Chris Evans today. Majority of these things, I don't think anyone beat out or is currently beating out Chris Evans. I'm looking through it, and they say the votes are in. He's the sexiest man alive right now.
Well, then they made the right call then.
Yeah, based on this poll, they certainly did. We'll have 1 hour from right now. Tickets for you to go see Katy Perry, her residency. Those tickets are yours right around 8:25 when you win. Heads up. It's Mix 94.1, Mercedes in the morning. We should go out of this traffic just like another time.
Hmm.
With having your kids, with your ex, having the girlfriend move in, like how would you handle that with your kids? I don't know if there's anything you can do, right? It's not like a legal thing you can do.
Is there a way to kind of make that like more, instead of just telling about it, like a
Some kind of,
debate on that?
yeah. Anyone in that situation, or
Do you need to get the okay of the next if your kids are going to be exposed to a new boyfriend or girlfriend?
should that be it's not, I'm assuming it's not a law, but you have to have the written consent of the other parent. It's going to be a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, we can try that.
We'll go out of traffic.
Bit of a wait to go from the westbound Southern Beltway onto 15 northbound. That transition ramp continues down just a single lane until the day before Thanksgiving. New east side accident being cleaned up on Bonanza between Eastern and Pecos and Mojave. Ed Kelly with your time saver traffic.
Chris Cuomo is back with a new show on the new network. Catch Cuomo weeknights on News Station at 5 and 8 p.m. Pacific. Find News Station on your television provider. Go to newsstationnow.com/join Now back to Mercedes in the morning.
The first thing I turn on when I wake up.
The best on Mix 94.1.
If you are in a relationship with kids and that relationship comes to an end, but you still, obviously have to co-parent, what is the protocol? Like, do you feel like the other person should have a say in anyone that you bring around the kids? It sounds like someone kind of going through this.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of the situation until last night, and kind of transpired for me over the weekend. We have and she's more of Laura's friend, and I know them, but she's the girl's close with Laura. I'll call her Diane. Diane, and we'll call her husband Doug. They got a divorce, and I knew, and they got 2 kids, and I knew that they got a divorce. And I ran into Doug over the weekend, and I'm like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He had some girl with him, and I even forget her name. "Hey, nice to meet you." Thought nothing of it. Like, oh, he's got a new girlfriend. And then I was telling Laura this last night. And apparently it's a new girlfriend, that things are starting to get serious, and she has moved in with him. And because they have kids, when the kids go over to Doug, this new girlfriend is around the kids, and Diane is not a fan of that. Young little kids going over to the house. Doug's got his new girlfriend living in there. Who's this new lady? Is she mom? What's going on? It's the whole thing. And Diane is not happy about the situation.
Do you think that Diane should have a say in that? Like, obviously your ex cannot control who you date and when you move on, but do you think that Diane should have a say in it?
I in a weird way, yeah. I think there needs to be some kind of, hopefully this new girl is a sweet, kind, caring person, is gonna help out with the kids and be a positive role model for the kids, and not some bad news. You hope for the best, and you can't control your ex and say, don't do this, don't have someone, don't have a girlfriend move in with you. But I would hope there'd be some kind of conversation about it. Like, hey, if things are getting serious with a new girl, she's going to move in. You get to meet her, maybe have a conversation with her. I just feel there needs to be something, instead of just all of a sudden there is, hey, my girlfriend's living with me now. And the kids are like, who's this lady?
I think that it's a sticky situation, because I don't know. I don't feel like my ex should have a say in who I date. However, if my kids are in danger in any way, absolutely you have a say. And at least if the kids are going to go over there. Oh, how do you deal with this if you've gone through this before? Did you guys have a conversation about it? Did you just move on? I definitely think that you should make sure that they are vetted. I don't know, like formally, but I want to know, okay, who is this person? It's not saying that you have my permission to date them, but who is this person? Okay, what's their background? You can date whoever you want, but you can't take my kids around whoever you want. That would be my thing.
Yeah, what if this person's bad news? Just they seem like a bad character. Is there something going on you don't like, and you pick up a bad vibe about it? What do you do though? Then you can't legally not allow your kids to go over there, or can you? I don't know how that works.
Well, it depends on what your custody situation is, but I don't think that you can say, well, I just get a bad vibe from this person, and then that's going to hold up in court. I think you would probably have to have some facts to back that up. But at the same time, I think that hopefully if you are truly co-parenting and you are truly trying to put the children first, which is the most important thing, you would discuss that. I try to think, like, if I were ever in that situation, my kids are older now, so I don't know that it would be as big of a deal, but I know that if my husband was dating someone new, I'd want to know, who is it? Like, who are you taking around my kid? I don't feel comfortable with that. And also, at what point do you introduce them? It's like, okay, we've been on 2 dates. Here's my kids.
Yeah.
Or do you wait for 3 or 4 months? Do you wait for a year? If you've gone through that, what was your arrangement? What did you do? Was it a situation where you had to sit down with your ex to come to an agreement? It's your kids. They should come first, and their safety comes first. Their well-being comes first.
And their kids are I should know this, but they're in elementary school. They're young. They're still very young, but they're in school and stuff. So they're both in school, which is so maybe first grade, third grade. I don't know, but I know they're in elementary school. Both the kids are.
I think about too, if you're on the other side of it. Let's say you're dating the person with the kids, and you're new into this relationship, and you understand, like, there's another parent, and they're probably feeling a little weird about you. how do you prove to them that your intentions are not bad and that you just want to get to know these kids, or you're not trying to replace them as a parent, but you want to make sure that you are there and you're an adult that they can turn to if they need to. That's got to be a tricky situation too.
Yeah, and try still to be a positive role model for these kids. Yeah, it's tricky all the way around, but interesting situation and I had no idea when I ran into him over the weekend that this situation was going on until I told Laura last night. I'm like, oh, I ran into Doug over the weekend, and there's some girl like, oh, let me tell you the backstory of what's going on. I'm like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that. It's always tricky getting involved in when your friends have a breakup, and then you're like, oh gosh, don't make me pick sides. I like you both.
Who's this new girl with you, Doug? This is not Diane.
Yeah, or you're in the relationship and like, I claim custody of this set of friends, you get the custody of that set of friends.
Doug was new. Doug, we knew Diane before Doug. Doug came in late in the situation.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
Doug's
later,
the newbie.
Doug.
Later, Doug. Doug, you're out. Still to come next hour, those tickets for you to see Katy Perry. We have them right around 8:25. And up next is the Hot 3. What do you have for us?
Does your job negatively affect your mental health? We're going to talk about a new study. Also, how is your sleep? Do you experience sleep disturbances? A lot of US adults do. We're going to talk about some of those issues. And what is the best talking topic for your next first date? The topic that is definitely going to get the conversation going. We'll tell you what it is coming up next in the Hot 3.
Have you guys eaten at Best Friend at Park MGM?
I have.
We
Good.
did you have you ever been there, JC?
No.
We finally got a reservation because it's like the list to get on that. It's so hard to get a reservation. So James is like, you don't care, I'm gonna make a reservation Thanksgiving week. And I was like, yeah, whichever. You know, I don't really care the time. He's like, all right. He puts it in the calendar. It's a Saturday or a Friday at 10:30 p.m.
Nuh-uh.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my gosh, my schedule is going to be so thrown off. He's like, you said. I was like, all right, I guess we're going to go. I think it's either that Friday, the Black Friday, or that Saturday at 10:45 or 10 p.m.
Wow.
It's at MGM. What kind of restaurant is it?
Korean barbecue, right?
Yeah, but they have a lot. It's like a fusion. Like it's like kind of Korean fusion with street food with like Mexican and like there's just so many different things. It's really good. I used to know someone that works there, but I don't think they work there anymore. I can check, see if I can get you in earlier, but I'm pretty sure they don't work anymore.
If you can, that's cool. If not, don't worry about it. He's just like, we've been meaning to go. When do we try to make a reservation? Back in May. So it's been quite a while since we've been trying to.
You made
Dang.
a reservation in May?
No. Sorry. We tried, but the last time we tried was back in May. So
Oh, wow.
for his birthday, we were seeing Silk Sonic. And we're like, we might as well try and get a reservation for us before we watch the show. And then I think we tried like a couple days before and it was fully booked. Like you couldn't even book out in advance. So we didn't even try. And so now that we have some time coming off for the holidays, he goes, let's go. And I'm like, all right. And that's the only day they had. I'm trying to
called Best
find
Friend?
it. Yeah, Best Friend at Park MGM.
You can go at 5:15 p.m. on November 27th.
What day is that?
The Sunday
Monday?
before we come back.
Oh, I'm in the wrong year. I'm in 2023. Let me see. November 27th. The Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
What time?
It was like 5:30. I was like, "Ooh, that's perfect."
It's actually a good time.
Yeah, there's a
Sunday?
5:15. There's a 5:45.
No way.
Yeah. You may want to try walking up too.
Yeah. That Sunday's golden.
Huh.
If you look after that, like, well, during the week it's pretty open. It's those Fridays and Saturdays that are tough.
Yeah. I'll talk to him because 10 is pretty late.
Yeah, on a Sunday night. Well, Sunday's early.
Yeah, Sunday's at 5:30, which is actually not that bad.
That's perfect time for dinner.
Yeah, that's a perfect time.
Enjoy the season.
So did you say you were going to the screening tonight, Mercedes, for Black Panther?
I don't know if I'm going. Are you going?
Yeah, we're going.
I RSVP'd for it, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
I'm excited to watch it. You should try and go.
It depends on what happens with these renovation people.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's, I mean, that's
Yeah, if they can get in, I mean, they can't do it today, but we're kind of at their mercy right now, like when people are coming over. It's kind of a mess.
you feel like for this home warranty, they send out subpar people.
Like I said, we've actually always had pretty decent people come, and a couple that we liked them so much that we ended up using them just between us, not through the warranty. This was the first time, and I don't even know if I want to like say that this guy was bad. I think that I don't know. I feel like maybe it was a mistake. I just feel bad for him because I don't think he did it on purpose, but
No, but
it's just a mess.
I remember the last house we had the home warranty. They came out to do this in the AC, and I went upstairs to check on the guys, and they were drinking beer.
What?
And I'm like, oh, cool.
Where'd they
Yeah.
get the beer?
They had it. They brought it with them.
What company was that? Do you remember?
Oh God, this was 2006.
Dang.
It was the warranty company that came with the house, and it was there's that like the condensation line for the AC that drips out the second
Yeah.
floor was backed up, so they literally just had to blow the line out with some machine. But I went up there and I want to be a cool guy. I'm like, hey, yeah, right on, having some beers, are you?
Ugh.
So I'm like, what are you guys doing?
What'd they say?
Oh, they're like, you guys drink? Like, yeah. I'm like, right on. How's it look? Like, almost done. I'm like, cool.
I would have so called their company.
Really?
Yeah. That's not cool.
I remember that they had accessed the attic through our master bedroom closet.
Attics creep me out. I couldn't do that. Just knowing you have an attic too. Ooh.
Oh, attics are awesome.
Oh no.
Attics and basements.
I feel like that's where like my life ends. Is in an attic.
In an attic.
All my worst nightmares are in my attic.
You missed out on
Basements?
Do you have basements in San Diego?
No, I think actually a few. Like when you go towards the east, more East County,
Uh-huh.
but because the weather's colder.
Basements are great.
Attics, ugh, no.
Our attic, you gotta reach up and pull down the stairs that fold down and go up into it.
Ugh. See, my life ends. Just Stairway to Heaven that's where it is.
Here we go. 3, 2. It's time for the Hot 3 on Mix 94.1.
The Hot 3 is brought to you by attorney Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Nearly half of Americans claim that their jobs negatively affect their mental health. That is according to new data. This Gallup survey asked working Americans about their mental health as it's associated with their jobs. 4 out of 10 people expressed negative effects on their mental health due to work. When broken down, 7% say that it's extremely negative. The negative impacts are extreme. 33% said this they're somewhat negative. The survey comes after workplace productivity hit record lows. And it's not because people are distracted from home. It's just due to burnout. And they say that burnout is physical or emotional exhaustion that can result in a sense of reduced accomplishment and even identity. So it's not really a shocker that it's affecting mental health.
I was thinking about driving in this morning. We were broadcasting from home and doing the show from home. We burnt out during that time period because we were going from show would start at 5:30, we went an extra hour to 11 a.m. And then the show ends. It's like, okay, there was no separation between work and family life and relaxation time.
Yeah, I did get burnt out at that time. It was really tough. And I think I was depressed too. Just it was just there was so much unknown happening. And so, yeah, that was hard. I don't blame it solely on work, but I think there was just enough going on that my mental health was not good at that
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Ugh, it was a tough time for everyone. Yeah.
For sure. Also this morning, so how are you with sleeping? 3 in 10 US adults say they have trouble sleeping, and nearly as many experience daytime sleepiness. Many people play catch up on their days off of work to erase sleep deficits too. This new study shows that sleep disturbances remain a major challenge and for the promotion of healthy sleep in the United States. They said that overall 30% of adults experience at least 1 hour of sleep debt, which is defined on like how the difference between how long people sleep on their days off and how much they sleep during the week. So a lot of us have sleep debt. And then 46.5% experience 1 hour or more of social jet lag, which they say is the midpoint between sleep and wake time on work days versus free days, where you're so worn out from all that stuff that you get that jet lag.
Yeah, we're definitely. I mean, there's no doubt we're sleep deprived, and we do a lot of caffeine to try to make it through the day. And there are times throughout the week where it catches up on me. It was last week I was meeting a buddy to give him something, and I was early, sitting in my car, just listening to music. Next thing you know, it's like drool coming out, mouth wide open. It was my buddy tapping on my window. He's like, "You sleeping?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
I mean, sometimes you can't help it anymore. Your body just finally gives out on you.
And it's weird too. Is that like you're like, even if you're driving or something, that's so dangerous. You're sleepy. It's the one thing you can't like overpower. Your brain knows like, okay, we fall asleep. This is bad news, but we're still gonna fall asleep because we're tired. It's like the one thing you cannot stop. If you're sleepy, it's gonna hit you at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Finally, this morning, if you are ready to go out on a first date, you might think some of the best topics to chat about are your hobbies or your interests. But a new study says that the best thing to discuss to find out if you are a perfect match is your date's favorite song lyrics. Researchers say the words to our most loved tunes reveal our attachment style, whether that's anxious, avoidant, or secure. And experts say lyrics really can show a lot about the person's personality. So they said that next time you're out on a date, make sure you ask your date what's their favorite song, and then try to find a few lines in that song to kind of have an idea of how they are.
So if I said to you, "Hey Mercedes, you're looking good. You're smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover."
I would start laughing. I don't know if that's like the best set of lyrics from a BTS song, but I think that's good.
Let me show you, because talk is cheap. Sidestep right, left to my beat. Get it? Let it roll, honey.
I think some of my favorite, like just current lyrics that I really love. I do love the lyrics to Antihero. There's so many lyrics in that song that I personally can relate to, from the very first line, which is, "I have this thing where I get older but just never wiser." Yep, I can relate to that one. That when my depression works the graveyard shift, all the people I've ghosted stand there in the room. That one. And then just, "It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me." I can relate to that song. I love the lyrics of that song.
Oh yeah, it's I'm trying to find how can you work those in on a date?
I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero.
Dang, and how's your vision then? Staring at the sun like that all the time. Hey, speaking of Taylor Swift, now between 10 a.m. when we play 2 Taylor Swift songs, when that second song, when they're back to back, when that second song starts, be caller 20. Because if that's you, you're getting tickets to go see Taylor when she brings the Eras Tour to Allegiant Stadium in March. That's happening between now and 10 a.m.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for the 7 o'clock hour. We're not coming back, right? This is it.
This is it.
All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.